And the pandemic has been a major barrier to employment for millions of people in the country. Now, a new report shows colleges could be playing a role in yet another barrier. Alicia Nieves explains some schools are legally withholding degrees to collect their fees, and that during an economic turndown, that may be more difficult.
When Gabriel Toro enrolled at the University of Massachusetts in Boston, he saw college as his ticket to a better life.
I moved by myself up to Massachusetts because I was also leaving an unsafe household. Actually, for a brief period of time, I was actually a homeless LGBTQIA+ youth.
Fighting for a better future, he worked multiple jobs while studying, had to take out around $50,000 in student loans, but finally completed his degree last summer.
I suddenly had to just start looking for a job at literally the height of the recession.
In addition to the tough timing, Toro learned after applying for and eventually being offered a job, his school was withholding his degree.
No one called me. I only learned this after checking my school email. That's when I saw the email that said, "Notice degree withheld." It came as a shock.
The school said he owed around $2,700 in fees, including a graduation fee, despite no formal graduation ceremony during the pandemic. Without the new job, he couldn't afford to pay the fees.
I just remember being overcome with anxiety.
Fortunately for him, he told his prospective employer about the situation and they were understanding. They even hired him without the verification of his degree. And then textbook rental and tutoring company Chegg heard about his situation and offered to pay the balance of his fees.
There are still so many other students who do not have access to, that money right now. And I think that we need to be looking at this at a bigger picture.
The bigger picture is this. Reports show more than 6 million Americans are dealing with their degrees being withheld by universities over fees. In some cases, fees as little as $25. But during a pandemic and economic downturn like the one we're in, $25 for some might as well be $1,000.
So COVID-19 is a really pernicious time for schools to be withholding transcripts. It's bad for students, it's bad for our economy as a whole, and the research shows us that schools aren't even really getting that much money out of withholding these transcripts.
Rebecca Maurer is a lawyer with the Student Borrower Protection Center, which advocated for and helped California become the first state to pass a law banning schools from withholding degrees to collect fees. Washington passed a ban last year, and states like Ohio, New York, and Massachusetts are considering similar legislation, although advocates are now looking for the federal government to take broader and bolder action.
We have a new administration, a new Department of Education, and we would be thrilled to see them step in and begin to regulate institutional debts and transcript withholding. We can just eliminate this problem that is holding back millions of Americans.
Doing so could make it easier for some to find a job and get back to work. I'm Alicia Nieves reporting.